What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Edge. Of course, my name is Sean. That's Alex over there. How you doing tonight?
I have a bit of a cold going on, but I'm good, thank you.
Oh no. What's wrong?
Yeah. I've got the DreamHack plague. I think.
The best. How was DreamHack, by the way?
It was good.
Yeah?
Good. I was just there for a day, but it was probably good because I would have probably been bedridden by now otherwise.
Did you see anyone cool?
If I saw anyone cool. If I did, I probably didn't know.
That's a lot of StarCraft. It's pretty big StarCraft that's seen there.
Yeah, no. I wasn't watching the tournaments. I could hear the tournaments. The crowd was just going crazy.
Of course.
It's hard to not get like really excited by it, even if you don't know what is going on. But yeah, no, I got to I got to try Warlords of Draenor and Reaper of Souls, which I was very happy about.
Nice. What do you think of Warlords, by the way?
Pretty.
Yeah.
The new character models are awesome.
Good.
Really, really nice. Yeah.
Nice.
And I got to test the dungeon as well with the guys that were sat next to me, which was fun.
Do you play Alliance?
No, I did, but they were Horde, so I had to. So I made actually an orc hunter to join them.
When I went to BlizzCon and we did the demo, if you were Alliance, you had to use like a little, I don't even know what to call it, like a little summoning portal thing, and it'll bring you in front of the entrance to the instance because it's like a Horde zone.
Yeah, but I had to do that as well.
Really?
You had it in your bag, yeah.
Even as Horde? I mean, you usually report it right to the entrance. That's like where they put you.
Yeah. I don't know. The guys just said, use that thing in your bag and
here.
you'll get here. And I
like
did,
here.
and I got there.
Just do it.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was fun, but it's weird still. Just how different some of the things are.
Good.
But
well,
yeah,
I mean, other than coming back with a plague, you had a good time.
I did. I had a really good time. So I got to meet some really nice people.
Good.
I was happy.
Good. So today we're going to be talking about Holy Priests, and in case you didn't notice, right in the middle of our screen where we normally have the icon for whatever class and spec we're going to be talking about, there's this beautiful PNG file of GhostCrawler his face has been inserted into Alex's Holy Priest, which Alex actually made, so good job. Looks nice. I like it. You never know. Maybe he'll see it and be proud.
Yeah. Also, that sounded a little dodgy. Just I've inserted his face into my priest.
You did. That's what you did. Look at it. It's crudely photoshopped in. It looks awesome.
Really, really bad photoshopping.
It looks. I think it looks great.
But it was intended.
Yeah. I mean, obviously. Obviously.
It's an homage.
If we're gonna go like with Twitter and the forums, it's Greg's fault anyways. It's his fault. Everything's his fault.
Yeah.
So Greg, that bad PNG file of you, it's your fault. Okay, that would never be there if it wasn't for you. So.
Yeah, you could pretty much say that. True. Oh my goodness.
So in honor of Mr. GhostCrawler leaving Blizzard and moving on to bigger and better things, we figured we would discuss Holy Priest, even though it's kind of weird to talk about two healing classes back to back, but
yeah,
I mean, since
we
it's only
wouldn't
the
normally
third show,
do that, but it's a special occasion, isn't it?
Why not?
So,
what do we care? We don't have.
I'm not complaining.
We don't have like a thing down yet. It's not like we're gonna do it. We don't know. We wing it. What do we care? What the hell? So, confession. I don't really play a Holy Priest.
No.
Yeah. So I'm going to rely on my amazing wit and vast intelligence to try to keep up with your knowledge of the priests. So
Yeah, I'm gonna condemn you to doing 20 of a Blizzard Activision uh, for that confession, and you'll be
Nice.
forgiven.
Well, luckily you've actually played a holy priest for quite a while, so
Yes, it was the first character I ever rolled, and was my main for about 4 years. It's really just in Mists of Pandaria that I've not played it so much.
so how does it like? I mean, how does it translate in terms of healing? I mean, you play a lot of healing classes, so how does this
I
stack
do,
up
yeah. Um,
in terms of like playing mechanics and uh, how it feels, that kind of stuff? I mean, each healing class feels a little different.
yeah.
So where's this rank
I've
up?
always said that like a holy priest is it's like a delicate dance almost. You have many small heals. You've got your small cheap heals. You got the fast ones. Then you got your hots. Then you got your AOE's, and you just have to build it all up into one big nice
One big
chunk
thing.
of raid healing, basically. I quite enjoy it because there's a lot of things to do, and which is also the kind of the same thing I liked about Mistweaver monks. You kind of have to work a little bit to get going, which is something that I enjoy.
I'm not gonna say anything.
What?
So moving on to talents. Um,
Okay, let's do that.
Good introduction to the class. Like it. Takes a while to get worked up, but when you do, it's worth it. Quoted. Good. Okay.
Okay.
We'll jump right into this. It's gonna be a little bit different than how we did the monk. The monk class, we went through a lot of the abilities and how they play out and that kind of stuff. But that's important to that class. This is a pretty basic. This is literally there's spells called heal, and greater heal and flash heal, and
It's very easy to understand
it's
what
pretty
they do.
self-explanatory.
Yeah. Yeah.
Press the heal button. So we'll jump into talents a little bit. We will talk about some spells, but first thing we're talking about today's talents.
Yeah.
Level 15 is your first tier. It's all about crowd control. There's a couple different options here that you can take. From what I understand and from what I've looked at and the research that I've done, Dominant Mind is more of a PvP oriented talent. Obviously,
One hell of an annoying one.
yeah, and throw you off the side and jump
Goodness.
to your death. It is a channeled spell, so that is one thing to keep in mind. If you do pick Dominant Mind, it is channeled. Therefore, if you are channeling a mind-controlled mob, you are not healing, and therefore you are not doing your only task. So probably not.
I'd save it for PvP.
Yeah, probably not the
have
best.
a lot of fun with it whilst doing so.
Psyfiend actually I think seems kind of nice. It's a single target fear in addition to your psychic scream. So and also it's almost like a smart fear where it will favor mobs that have you as the primary target. So say you pull aggro or something. That's a nice little
All
talent.
the spells are so smart these days.
Yeah,
They
what
can
happened to
think
that?
for themselves.
What's up with that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Soon they'll take over and make us their slaves.
Hey, I don't know. I mean, that's just the way the game's going. Eventually, you won't have to play the game.
Exactly.
You just log in and you watch. You're like, what's my character gonna do today? Maybe he's gonna fish. It's gonna be great. Watch this. Oh my god, here he goes. Okay.
Yep.
What's this other one here? Void tendrils. What? I don't really know. It looks like it's something you'd use like as an AOE route. Probably
Yes.
same thing, PvP kind of oriented, or I guess if it's a lot of mobs in the raid fight, or even if you're leveling up, which I don't know why you'd be
Yeah.
leveling holy. Certain people have. Yeah, exactly.
No one mentioned, no one forgotten.
Yeah, just saying. So it looks like Psyfiend is gonna be probably the preferred, especially PvE. PvP though, Dominant Mind's always really nice to have fun with people.
Oh,
So
definitely. Yeah. We didn't have void tendrils back in my day when I quested as a holy priest.
yeah, that's
But it's a really nice talent, especially if you have big trash packs and stuff.
right. Which has actually been a pretty common thing in this expansion. They have made the trash.
It is, and I would go with void tendrils for like a raid encounter.
Sure.
If I mean, I need to choose
Or
one
maybe
of
if
these.
you're leveling with a friend. That kind of thing. maybe.
Oh yeah,
You know?
I mean for levelings and dungeons and stuff, definitely it's
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah.
For most PvE situations, really, Fiend is also a little bit, I feel, more applicable in a PvP environment.
I like the on use though.
Mm.
I don't know.
No,
That's just a
it's
personal thing.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
I have to give it that.
So tier 2, it's all about movement. What do you think here? I know. I mean, I'll give my opinion. What do you think? I want to hear you first. You go.
Go.
First. You go first.
I go first.
I'm excited.
For a very long time, I was a huge fan of Body and Soul. Before we had this kind of talent system.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is where you bubble yourself or someone else.
Right.
They will automatically get a speed boost. But they have, in this expansion, kind of nerfed it a bit because they've reduced the duration of the speed. So you don't only get it for like 2 or 3 seconds now. Whereas Angelic Feather, get a few charges and you drop it on the ground. Usually, whilst running, you drop it on the ground in front of you, dush, 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 dush,
right?
And you run over the feather.
It's like a little Mario mushroom.
Yeah, you get
Mario
a really nice speed boost from there. You need to work a little bit more for your speed boost, but it's more generous speed, which I think is the philosophy behind them. Body and Soul is quite easy. You just bubble someone or yourself, and the rest is done.
You're talking smack about Body and Soul because you know that was going to be the one I was going to pick.
I said it was my favorite, but it's not so good anymore.
I told you it's that on use. That's what I like. It's my speed boost, and I want it now. You don't understand that reference. I don't think you get that commercial in Sweden. Never mind. Someone in the chat's going to be like, I know what he's saying. You have no idea. I'll send you the link when we're done, and you'll understand it.
Okay.
After.
Yeah, you might want prep me beforehand with references to commercials and stuff. I'm gonna keep on doing it. Yeah. Well, we've got Phantasm as well, which is more of a PvP ability. Yeah, it's really nice one at that. But when you fade, you remove all your moving and parrying effects, and your movement speed is unhindered for 5 seconds, which in the arenas you need to run.
It's important
because as a healer you're pretty much bait. That's what you do. You run around, you heal, and you let people chase you.
Especially as a clothy. You're usually one of the first to go.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say Angelic Feather is probably the best one at the moment. But you need to manage it more. So
no, I'm not into that. I'm just gonna click Body and Soul and run for 5 seconds. Not even 5 seconds.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I'll run for 2 seconds.
Yeah, pretty
much.
Here I go.
Okay, I'm done.
That's it. Yeah.
See that preference thing? It's important.
Oh.
Tier 3. So a whole bunch of manas. All about the manas. Here is this is an interesting choice here because the 2-piece of tier 16 comes into play a lot when you're looking at these talents. So Mindbender is probably what you want to start with, since it does do the 1.75% restore mana per swing, which is pretty big, and that obviously helps you out quite a bit. But once you get that tier bonus and you're picking up some better gear, from what I understand, a lot of people prefer From Darkness Comes Light.
Yeah.
So, but maybe you can go into that a little bit more into detail because I'm not exactly sure how that applies mechanically in the game. But from, like I said, from research, this is what I understand. So.
Yeah. I prefer From Darkness Comes Light basically because it works very well with another talent that you have that we'll get into later. But basically what's happened is that when you smite or cast a healing spell, you have a 15% chance to cause your next flash heal to be instant and have no mana cost. And it can have two stacks, 2 charges. And first of all, flash heal is an expensive heal. Like I said, last week, you don't flash people. It's rude. It's a good kind of motto for that spell because
I don't agree with that for the record.
no, but in this situation,
I don't agree.
Because you're going to yourself. Here you have a chance of a quick and fast heal. So just that in itself is really nice. But then we'll get to a talent that's called... hang on.
I've never heard of that talent.
No? Hang on.
No. Sounds rough. Sounds like something I would not want to be a part of.
Basically, serendipity. That's what I was getting to.
Okay.
Which means that whenever you do a binding heal or a flash heal, you'll reduce casting speed and mana cost for greater heal and prayer of healing by 20% and can stack up to 2 times, up to 40%. So not only will From Darkness Come Light proc a lot of flash heals for free, those flash heals will then proc this speed and mana reduction for 2 of your really nice big heals.
Right.
So, yeah.
But I thought the From Darkness Comes Light kind of has a little bit of RNG with it.
It does, definitely. But from my experience, it procs quite often.
Okay.
But yeah.
It does proc off your like AoE heals too, right?
Pardon?
It procs off your AoE heals.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. That's awesome.
So, but if you really don't fancy the RNG element of that, you can always go with Solace and Insanity, which is quite a new spell.
Which replaces Holy Fire.
Yes.
Even though it does the same amount of damage and removes almost 2% mana cost and restores 1% of your total mana. So
yeah. So that's just a spell you will want to use on cooldown. I would say
it's also another smart heal.
Yeah, but
What do you know?
I prefer this for disco priests more than holy priests.
What do you know?
But that's just me. I would go with From Darkness Comes Light, definitely.
Don't you think you would want enough like spirit for that though, which we'll get into later? I mean, with your mana regen.
Depends, obviously, what kind of gear you're using.
Right. Okay. I mean, you're the priest here.
You need to be comfortable with your mana regeneration, obviously. Yeah. I mean, Mindbender can be a really good talent because it's like every minute you can pop that and get your mana back. Whereas Shadow Fiend, which is what Mindbender replaces, it's got a 3-minute cooldown, I think. So, but it also gives you more mana back. So yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I even understood what you just said right there. How about that? Every word.
I'm impressed, Sean.
It's not easy.
No.
That's that bond. It's that bond we have.
Yeah.
Level 4, tier 4, all the 4s. Yeah. Survival. Desperate Pair seems to be the strong one here. Just simply because it's 30% on use.
Yes.
Because you can also use what's that talent that makes you switch health with someone?
Void Shift?
Yeah, Void Shift. Because you can use that at the same time. You can almost macro that. Like boom boom, you know?
Boom.
Boom boom.
Yeah, definitely. This used to be a Disco Priest talent only,
right.
I think.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
But now
everyone
can choose it. It is very good. It's again, it's a little bit about playstyle. It's another button you need to press. Whereas, say, Angelic Bulwark is something that will proc automatically once you go below a certain percent.
Right, which is 30%.
Health. Yeah. And it can proc up to every 90 seconds, so it's quite often. But I mean, I always see like the priests in my raid team, they always have like the debuff from that.
But it doesn't count if you get one shot. Like say you go from like 31% health to 0. It doesn't proc. You're just
No, you're dead. But if you get one shot, Desperate Prayer is not going to help you either.
I mean, that's true. Good point. Spectral guys, what do you think about that?
In most PvE situations, it's not very applicable.
Right.
It's very annoying in PvP because when you use it, if someone have you as a focus target, you'll clear the focus target, so their macros won't work on you. So that's a nice thing. But like, I know one fight specifically in the Siege of Orgrimmar where it's been really useful, and it's actually Thok, the big, I was going to say something bad there, dinosaur. Let's go with annoying. Okay. But basically, when he focuses on you, he can, if you're unlucky, and you need to kite him basically, or he'll just eat you. If you're unlucky, he can focus you twice, and sometimes, depending on how fast he is, you're actually kind of screwed if that happens. And if you use Spectral Guise, he will drop his focus on you as well. So that's a nice, oh shit, he's gonna eat my face, Spectral Guise, and he turns around and goes for someone else. So we had our priest use that for that encounter, because a dead priest isn't good for no one.
That's interesting.
And he's a one-shotter, so none of the others would have worked.
That's interesting. It's interesting that they use that's in there with those two other talents, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's a kind of cool talent.
I mean, no, it is. It's just one of those things where it's so situational. It's kind of almost awkward that it's there. It's kind of like, why?
Well,
you know what I mean?
It's more of
one's
PvP.
An instant heal, one is an automatic heal below a certain percentage of health, and this is like, you know, this is your stealth button. It's like, wait, what?
Well,
I mean, that's what it is.
As priest, we're a bit stealthy.
There you go. The next level 75 is tier 5.
Yeah.
And this is basically a throughput. This is basically, I mean, I don't really. I'm from what I understand and what I read, like I said, I'm not the holy priest here, okay, guys. I DPS. I'm more important. So.
Hey.
Ooh, there you go. There's the anger. There's the anger.
A dead DPS does no DPS.
Only bad DPS die. So, Divine Insight is what looks like to be one of the strongest. Because it obviously turns your Prayer of Mending into a chain heal, and it doesn't trigger the cooldown.
No, exactly. Which is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, since we are talking Holy Priest as a bit of a homage to GhostCrawler, he actually mentioned on Twitter that even though this is not exclusively for Holy Priests, that Prayer of Mending was probably one of his favourite spells. So there you go.
Look at
that. But yeah, no, this is... Divine Insight is quite interesting because you can also combine it with glyphs.
Right.
That will make it stronger as well. Glyph of Mending, I believe. So I would go with that.
Well, I mean, it's a smart heal that's almost instant, and it can heal, I believe it's 5 targets.
Mm-hmm.
5 targets. And it doesn't trigger your Prayer of Mending cooldown.
Oh, so you can just pop that too.
So that's pretty nice. That's some healing right there. That feels nice.
Yeah, I think it was probably quite nice with one of the Throne of Thunder set bonuses, which increased the healing it did per jump or something like that. Right. I can't remember it now, but it was probably a good time for Divine Insight.
I think Twisted Fate would be really good too for certain fights that there's a lot of damage going out raid wide. Like, is it what is it? Sailong? Which one was it? I can't remember which one. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it's. I want to say it's one of the dragons.
One of the dragons. You know there are quite a few dragons in this
GD
game.
it.
What?
GD.
GD?
GD. I'll explain that one to you after too. It's me being nice, not saying a bad word.
Okay.
It does seem like
No,
a
but
really nice throughput talent, though, especially if you need to consistently keep people up that are below 35% health.
like
Because essentially heals get
if you're
stronger.
in like progress raids and stuff like that, might be nice to get more throughput when the raiders start to go low.
Right.
It feels a little bit more like a disc talent as well, seeing as it's increased damage as well, because you could do your
15%,
atonement healing. But yes, you can definitely use it as a holy as well. I just it's not the one I would go for first. No.
I think about power infusion. I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, increasing your spell hits by 20%.
Yeah, it's nice.
Reducing mana cost of all spells by 20% in the last 20 seconds.
That's
and it's a 2-minute cooldown.
If you really need to spam
That's the one.
heals, that's the one you'll want.
That sounds like a really nice 10-man.
Yeah, definitely.
Not so much 25.
No, you're right. There are quite a few differences with how you play a Holy Priest in a 10-man environment and in a 25-man environment, even in your stat priorities. So we'll get to that later, but definitely, I agree. Power infusion, 10-man. Om nom nom.
Nom nom nom.
Om nom nom nom.
Level 90.
Yeah.
Tier 6.
Here comes the pretty spells. Oh my god.
I think all these are viable. Given
They
the
are
right
in different situations, definitely.
But it's like that with every level 90, everyone's talent. That's the point.
Yes.
This is the
goodies. It's kind of the point with all the talents. I mean, I feel like we're repeating ourselves all the time, but it is situational. It is down to play style. It's very rarely it's one of those cookie cutter talents. Yep. They occur, but it's not like it used to be. Definitely not. Cascade is quite nice if you're in a 10-man team and you're going to be in Chakra of Serenity a lot, because it will renew
It will renew your renew
that it hits. So that's nice. It's also good if you're more spread out.
Well, because it bounces to the targets further away. Well, it heals 31 targets, but favoring the targets that are the furthest away. So it's one of those you want to use when even if you are further out than the raid group. That's important too. So
yeah,
because a lot of times healers are somewhere else, depending on the fight.
Have just gone off. They're having coffee somewhere.
Just go.
You don't know where they are.
My old guild used to be Group 3. Group 3 had their own chat, the healer chat, and boy, was it a mean place to be sometimes.
Was it Group 3 for you?
Not for me. I was in Group 2, mainly DPS.
Yeah, but I was saying, did you have your healers in Group 3?
Yeah, we did, yeah. With the raid leader at the time, the guy running the show, he...
It's usually Group 5, so you were a bit odd.
Well, it was a 25, so there's different There's technically two healer groups, if you want to get really technical. Oh, I know.
Yeah, no, they probably were talking a lot of crap.
A lot of screenshots. Not about me. Maybe every now and then, but I wasn't like the consistent guy.
Oh my god, that release guy.
That stupid rogue. He doesn't know what he's doing. How come he doesn't hit Feign? How come he doesn't fish? How come Cloak of Shadows?
Exactly. But yes, Divine Star is more a stacked up situation kind of heal. Like take Galacrass when you stack up in a line. Place yourself in the back or in the front, turning around, and you just go release your Divine Star and heal it.
That acting job. So good.
Hey, I'm sick.
You are.
In the middle of the night.
It's sick and it's like 4 a.m.
Cut me some slack,
I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Halo's your most expensive but potentially highest amount per cast. Heal per cast.
You need to be aware of range a little bit. because it will heal the most at a certain range. But it's really powerful, and I really like it, and it's so good looking. So, you need to have style, obviously.
So I guess the thing to take away from this is that Cascade is obviously your default 10-man talent, simply because if you
play with your single target heals more than
if you're in Chakra Serenity, which we'll talk about here, actually next is our chakras, but Cascade does refresh the duration of renew on all the targets that it hits.
Yes.
So it's like having another mini healer with you.
Another mini healer.
It's like it's you. It's like Fight Club. Spoiler alert. It's the same person.
I see what you did there. Very clever.
Yeah, I'm the best.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not. It's true.
Right, let's talk chakras. Before I just face plant my keyboard.
Yeah, seriously. I gotta get through this before she's like, I'm gonna talk. It's gonna pass out. Yeah. You can't see it, but
no, I can't see you.
I know, but you know what I did. I'm just slowly fading away from the mic. You can imagine what happened. Mm-hmm. So we already started talking about a little bit Chakra Serenity. Yeah. Basically, let's back up. Chakras. What are for people that don't know what a chakra is, it's basically like a stance.
Yes.
Like for like a warrior. If you don't know what that is, go look it up.
Yeah, exactly. Then you're out of luck.
Google it, man. Good Lord. Tell you everything.
Yes, it is like it's stances basically, but with a 30-second cooldown.
Right.
So once you change, you can't change for a half a minute. Mm-hmm. So you need to plan a little bit. But that also goes into the little holy dance you do.
Right.
But
it is being
Serenity
prepared.
Is a single one.
Knowing what's coming up is important when you're playing a Holy Priest. Knowing the fight, knowing the mechanics, and knowing what's going to come up. It's
absolutely.
There's certain fights you're going to have to stance where there's like the day and night phases.
For too long.
For too long, yeah. I mean that's the same thing.
He is too long of an encounter.
And that's the thing, You're going to need AoE, and then you're going to need a single target. Then you're going to need AoE, then you're going to need a single target. And that's a good example of being able to stance and knowing what's coming, and being efficient with your class and knowing what to do. So Chakra Serenity is your single target healing stance.
It will also give you
buffs.
It buffs all your single target heals, but it will also give you an extra single target heal that you should use on cooldown.
Which is Holy Word Serenity.
Yes.
Which is
your
important.
Holy Word. And that will also, if you have that on a target, it will increase the crit chance of your other heals on that target whilst it's active. So I was trying this earlier and got like my greater heal to crit almost double, which was quite nice. So definitely be aware of the small mechanics when you use this, so you can utilize all of the things. I mean, Holy Priests aren't exactly, made for tank healing, but with this stance and with the whole, I've got Holy Word Serenity and I can crit big heals, you can definitely keep those pesky tanks alive.
That's weird because I feel like back in the day, priests used to be the main tank healers.
Really?
Yeah, like way back in the day.
How far back in the day?
Pretty far back. As far back as when my holy paladin was leveling up.
Right.
The Stranglethorn Veil. And he'd get ganked every 5 seconds.
Oh, good times.
And then we'd randomly disconnect and it'd be like waiting in queue. You are numbered 950 in queue. Average wait time is 2.5 hours.
Nice.
Then you go get pizza, take a nap.
But no studying, right?
No.
No.
No. You kidding me? The only studying I did back then was learning how to play more WoW. Like organizing my time where I could get the maximum amount of time out of playing my computer game. That was pretty much it.
You went a little loco.
I'm going a little off topic.
Yeah. That happens, I've noticed when we're talking.
Is that the point?
Yes.
The point is just to talk. That's what we do.
When it comes to tank healing, obviously, holy priests, holy holy paladins are going to be better with the big heals. Shamans are probably going to be quite nice with the big heals too. So,
but this is all single target.
Yeah.
Now, there's 3 chakras, and obviously Serenity is your single target, so you must have to have an AoE one, obviously, which would be of the chakra of Sanctuary, not to be confused with the homeworld of Diablo 3, since everything seems to bleed into each other in the Blizzard universe.
What if you could, drop a miniature Sanctuary village on the ground?
That'd be sick. It'd be
like,
so sick.
Stand on Deckard Cain.
Yeah, runs out, throws a book at someone and it heals someone. That'd be sick. Book of Cain. Yeah. So, your Sanctuary is your AoE healing stance. Obviously, same thing as the single target. It does buff your AoE heals. It does have a cooldown reduction to your
AoE.
Your AoE heals, right? And then of course it gives you another spell, just like the single target, which is Holy Word Sanctuary, which is your AoE ground-based heal. So it's the same exact thing, except now it's you just. As I think you said this last time, spread the love? Is that what you said?
Did I say that?
I think you did.
Okay, yeah.
It's recorded, so I'll find out. So
yeah, spread the love.
Spread the love.
Yes.
That's a Holy Priest all about, by the way.
Has had its mana cost reduced, so it's more worth it now to use. But you can't really spam it, if you know what I mean, because it's not going to be exactly worth it. But you need to use it still. Also plan, like, do we have, say, what's the first troll in Throw of Thunder?
I don't even remember off the top of my head right now.
The Arnold Schwarzenegger one that must break you. Anyway, you stack up in the middle. There are several stacking phases. That's a good way to pop your Holy Word Sanctuary to get the most out of it. And it's also it counts as a hot, so it will get extra ticks from haste, which is good to know when you're looking at haste breakpoints.
Sometimes those 1 ticks, they make a difference.
And then obviously we have the 3rd chakra, which
we don't care about because we're not damaging things. Did you mention that in 5.42 that the base AoE is now a smart heal as well? Obviously, I guess since everything with the priest is a smart heal. I guess it was
the
implied.
lag, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Healing six people, the most injured people.
Yes.
Which I don't really know how the game determines that, because the spikes in damage sometimes can be so severe. That's why smart heals are. Oh god, I don't even want to talk about smart heals and how I feel about that. You know what I'm gonna say. I think it's stupid.
Yes, I agree.
I think it's dumb. But whatever.
We can QQ about that some other time.
I will. I'm going
but yes, Chakra Chastise is your DPS stance.
Yeah.
It's meh. Yeah,
there you go.
You're not going to be using this.
That's all you need to know. No.
This is for questing.
Don't
more
do
or less.
it.
Yeah. So that.
More importantly, though, cooldowns.
Mm.
All the cooldowns.
Yes, and the nice cooldowns.
Yes.
Oh, this is what makes Holy Priest
You get so excited.
Well, you know, I
for anyone that's not watching the live stream, or you're not watching the video, you're listening to this, you just missed her face.
Yeah.
It was actually pretty nice. She was like, ooh. You know, someone throws like an ice cube down your back? That's almost kind of what it looked like.
I've got like chills, but good ones. Yes.
She got all the
Divide
feels.
him. Now we're talking.
All the feels.
If you listen to all the names of the spells for priests, basically they are some kind of choir.
Yeah,
they
pretty much.
sing. Okay, they sing you to hell.
Is that why you get excited?
Behind him is your 3-minute big throughput cooldown.
Yep.
It's a channeled one, so it's there are certain places where it can be hard to use, even though you kind of need it. Like Tortoise, for example, when you had like stuff falling from the ceiling, and you had turtles spinning around, interrupting everything you do. After he did his big ground stomp, we had like each healer's cooldown every other time, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You needed to
Yeah,
chain
to
them.
do the rotation. Yeah.
And what we actually did was that we had the paladins cast Hand of Protection on our holy priest, so she could continue to channel without dying.
What's interesting to note about this
Yeah.
spell is that it has a pretty large range, 40 yards.
Yep.
It does heal 5 people, 12 and 25 player, but 5 and 10 man. So half of your raid, about half your raid group.
Yeah.
And it does increase the healing to them by 10% for 8 seconds after the channel spell. So that's another thing, especially when your renew ticks. That's huge, because that 10%, I mean, those little 10% here and little percents here, they add up, and then that's what keeps your raid team alive. So
Yeah.
it's important to know the after effects too of these spells, even though it is a huge cooldown, and to keep your raid team alive, that little extra bonus healing on them is something to keep in mind as well. So
Definitely.
yeah.
But yeah, I love this
for
one because you
Cascade.
can really feel like the whole team just goes.
Yeah, just
Well, technically half, but if you're
I
yeah,
got you, everyone.
definitely.
Half of you.
One of those really satisfactory heals, shall we say. Obviously, we can't talk cooldowns if we're not talking Lightwell. And they've changed Lightwell now, and they've changed it again, switching Lightwell back and forwards with Lightspring and etc. But what it used to be was a little well of heals that you had to click to get a hot. And this used to be like the best hot Holy Priest had, which was why it was so annoying that no one was actually clicking the Lightwell. In
Again,
my
they
raid,
just made the game easier, so
in my raid team, we actually had to drill the team, train the team to use it, because we were 2 holy priests at the time, and we would just like click the Lightwell. I can see if you don't click the Lightwell, I still have charges left on my Lightwell. Have you clicked the Lightwell? Everyone who clicks the Lightwell gets a free kitten. That's basically what I did. I bribed people with in-game pets, which brings to mind that I probably owe quite a few people some cats.
whoops.
That's okay, I'll sort it.
Her Twitter is right above her head, just in case you want to find her and yell at her.
Give me my cat.
My
Exactly.
raid team used to throw the yell emotes in there, like 12 of them. So you just see it kind of pop up, and you're like, then you just know.
Yeah.
So
But no, I mean, one of our main tank, he actually quite often asked for a clickable Lightwell just by his side. He's so well trained in that. He likes it. He's got it in his rotation. But nowadays, if you don't glyph it, you're going to have it as a smart heal, where it attempts to heal people below 50%. You'll get the most out of Lightwell like this, unless you have people well trained. But yes,
it's a 3-minute cooldown.
it is. But it's a very strong hot healing over time. So, and yeah, that's what I have to say about that.
Well, it will. Never gonna go away.
No,
It's part of the game forever.
we like those.
Everyone knows about
like-
Guarding Spirit. If you've raided at all, ever, you've heard your raid leader say either Guardian Spirit or Guardian, or
Or wings.
a bunch of curse words, and slamming his hand down on the keyboard.
Yeah.
And Guardian is that huge tank, or I can't say it's just for I mean, we used it just for the tank. back when I
Yeah,
raided.
we usually reserve it for tanks,
Yeah.
but I mean,
But unless
if someone
it's,
needs saving,
someone,
save.
it's a huge part of the, it's a DPS burn or something, or, there's some DPS that are trying to burn this ad down and they need to jump back on the boss real quick because it's, you're closer in rage or something like that. And he just took this huge spike of damage because the off tank died, that kind of stuff. Those are the situations where you'd want to use Guardian Spirit. And it is a 3-minute cooldown, so it is a pretty hefty cooldown. But it does increase the healing done to the target by 60%, and also prevents a killing blow by sacrificing itself to prevent that. So
Yes.
it's interesting.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. Also one of my favorite spells for a Holy Priest, I have to say.
Also, you can cast it while stunned.
Yes.
It's a big deal.
So, I mean, if you're PvPing as a Holy Priest,
Yeah.
go for it.
Flag carrier's going down? Nope. Gotcha.
Yeah. No, but it's really a really nice oh shit ability.
Mhm.
And it's got a really nice animation as well. Like, it's hard to miss that someone's put wings on you. Yeah. Basically, what should have killed you will not kill you. And just that is worth so much when you're raiding. So keep that on a very nice, easy to reach button.
Last one we want to talk about is Void Shift. We already mentioned it earlier, but if you
Not
missed
that
it,
big of a cooldown, but yeah.
it's not. But it's important, I think, to know you have, because it can be the difference between a wipe and a down, especially when you're in progressing, because your gear isn't going to be quite as good. So certain members of your team may not have benefited from a lot of maybe the trash, the botches you have on trash or on farm, and maybe they're taking a big spikes of damage a lot or something like that. Maybe even your tank hasn't been getting all the gear that he needs to get you guys through certain fights. So that's huge to be able to swap health. And then, of course, we talked about earlier with the talents, you can do insta heals for yourself. I mean, there's a whole bunch of possibilities with Void Shift. The best thing to do, at least in my opinion, would be to use Void Shift and then to immediately use Desperate Prayer as well. I don't know. Again, if you're not in this live stream, I don't know what you just did. What did you just do?
I sneezed my headset off.
She sneezed it. This is why you need. See, if you're not here live, this is why you need to be.
I'm really
because
sorry.
of things I didn't hear anything.
Hopefully,
I didn't hear anything. It was like I'm talking, and I see you out of the corner of my eye, and then you turn into, what's the thing from the monsters, Mr. What the hell's that thing's name? The thing with
Cousin It.
The thing with all the hair.
Cousin It.
Yeah, Cousin It.
Yeah.
And then you just reappeared.
I've been told I look like Cousin It quite a few times.
Like your hair is just like over your face.
Yeah, I have a lot of hair, and it got stuck in my headset as
Good
well.
Lord.
It happens. I have a really bad cold.
That's okay. I did that the other day. I was playing, I don't know what it was StarCraft or Hearthstone or something. I was talking with my friends, and I sneezed so hard my headset flew off my head. And everyone thought it was an earthquake because my mic picks up so many sounds,
Yeah. Well, you weren't trying to do a live podcast at the time.
That's true.
But yes.
What was I even
let's
saying?
Go
Something
back
about
to Void Shift.
tacos. Chicken.
What?
Tootsie Rolls.
What do you?
I don't know. I forgot what I was talking about.
Back to topic. Back to Holy
Void
Priest.
Shift. You gotta macro it with Desperate Prayer. It's important.
Yeah.
That 30% instant heal is Health Stone on steroids. So 30% is a lot, because it's like a base 30%. So it's not like it's it's gonna heal like a regular Health Stone, or at least back in the day they used to heal like whatever 2,000 health or something stupid. And this is 30%, so it scales with your gear. It scales with you. So that's huge.
It's a really nice cooldown.
Especially
when you.
Well, you're going to use it when the raid member is really low in health. So obviously that 30% is going to boost you. I mean, you're going to use it when they're right around maybe 10-15%. So use that 30. Now even at 15, you're back up to 45% health. So that's not bad. And then
Definitely
with the carpet,
not. And if you're below 25%, I believe Void Shift will take them up to 25 anyway.
Yeah. So there you go.
You're not going to go below 25.
So here's something that's going to get a little interesting. We're going to talk about stats here, and I'm going to let you lead the way because I know you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Void Shift is also very annoying in PvP. You're about to kill someone, and all of a sudden they have all their health back. What? But
Get that healer. You got to do that switching.
Yep.
Switch.
When it comes to stat priorities, I would recommend that you have different priority depending on what kind of raid team you're on.
I would recommend you have a pen and you have a piece of paper, or just rewind this 6 times because this is going to get confusing.
Yeah, it's not that confusing.
It's confusing.
It's not that confusing.
It is. I don't care what you say.
Oh, shush. If you're in a 10-man team or a 25-man team, obviously, when it comes to healers, you will want spirit until you're comfortable with your mana regeneration. I know it's a very frustrating thing to say. I hated it when I was a new healer and people said that, and I was like, what do they mean? I want a number. Can they just not tell me? It doesn't quite work like that. You need to try to test your way forwards and see where you're comfortable with it. But once you are, this is where you will have different priorities depending on the size of your raid team. Or if you're maybe doing LFR and then normal on a 10-man, you obviously maybe want to... That's also a big change there. I don't know if you would change your stats for LFR, but you could. Anyway,
probably not so
as
much.
a 10-man healer, you will want to go for haste after spirit. First of all, to get to your soft cap, which will give you extra ticks of renew and sanctuary and all that, if you're in. But obviously, if you're in a 10-man team, you might want to be in Chakra Serenity instead, just because you can get renewed with Cascade and everything like that.
Right.
And also, just the more haste you have, the faster you're going to cast heals. And in a 10-man team, you might just be 2 healers. You have a lot of responsibility. You need to get those heals out fast. Whereas in a 25-man, it might be easier to be the one that blanket heals, the team, whereas another healer goes for the spiky damage of individuals or whatever.
We'll see.
Whereas in a 10-man team, you have to do both.
I do know this. I know math. I do know that about 16, almost 17% haste, about 16.66. This is when the haste really starts to kick in and it really matters. So you get the additional tick of renew. You also gain 3 additional ticks of Holy Word Sanctuary. The third tick actually is gained at 16.65. So, and that is huge. And then you get an additional tick of Lightwell at 16.65% haste as well.
Yeah.
So that's something to work on as you start gearing.
Definitely.
Because everything's going to have intellect on it. I mean, intellect is your raw, strength of heals.
This is just secondary stats we're talking.
Right.
Yeah, intellect is always,
right.
But you're going to have intellect on all of your pieces of gear, or you're doing something wrong. I don't think... Is there cloth gear without intellect on it?
I don't think so. But that's just something to keep in mind. There's your reference point a lot. You said earlier, why isn't there a number? Especially with Spirit, there is a number. But with Haste, there is a number.
There is a number.
16.66 is the number. That's the magic number. Write that down.
It's not going to hurt you to go above it. It does if you're a Mistweaver monk, where you need to be far more, strict where the caps are. Mm-hmm. And anyway, and after that, you can have... there are a bit different opinion about which order you want this for, but you can have... And then you go for Mastery and Crit, or Crit and Mastery. Mm-hmm. Mastery will give you Echo of Light, which is another hot that's applied to all your targets, if you're doing AoE or if you're doing single target. All direct heals, I believe. And obviously, the more Mastery you have, the stronger that hot it's going to get. And this is where the difference comes in a 25-man team. That is where you want to prioritize mastery rather than haste.
So instead of spirit, haste, mastery, crit,
yeah,
it's spirit, mastery, crit, haste. Don't
Pretty
worry,
much.
this isn't confusing. Like we talked about earlier.
With your AoE heals, you will be able to have Echo of Light on very many people at the same time.
Right.
And the stronger that is, the better.
And that just has to do with just the sheer fact that there's more people. I mean, at that point, you can do what you're designed to do as a holy priest, which is
To be
carpet
the proper
blank.
raid healer. Yeah.
Yeah, the carpet blanket the entire raid with
Exactly.
basically constant upticks of smaller heals. That is that consistent tick, 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 tick. So
Definitely.
So spirit and then mastery for your Echo of Light, and then crit. And then no one cares about haste in 25.
Well,
So if you're guild jumping, keep that in mind.
It's probably a personal point of... It's preference. You can kind of switch crit and haste around a little bit.
Right.
But yeah, it's the what comes after spirit that's the important bit here, and that is and the big difference is that you will want haste for 10-man definitely,
Right.
Because you especially if you're just
Those extra ticks.
you healing it, yeah.
That's huge. But something to keep in mind though: Hymn of Hope and Divine Hymn do not gain additional ticks, but
No.
you can cast the spell faster with haste.
Yeah.
So that's something to keep in mind. That's
definitely
important
yes.
to know, because you're going to think, well, if I gain all this haste, maybe my Divine Hymn, which is this huge cooldown, will help out those 5 targets and will heal more, and that's less strain on the other healer, or less strain on the DPS to pop their own personal cooldowns or something like that, but it doesn't work. So Hymn of Hope, Divine Hymn, don't even think about it.
No ticks for you.
No ticks for you.
But you'll get it out faster, which means you can go back to doing your other healing.
Right, which in turn,
faster.
with more haste, increases everything else's speed. So you can see where this goes here.
Exactly.
Let's see where we're going. All right, so
And,
there's that. There's the stat weight. That didn't get confusing then. I guarantee someone rewound this video like, wait, what did they say? Wait, what did she say? Wait, she's talking about 10 or 25 right now.
No.
Now I'm confused. I told you I'm confused. I told you.
Yeah.
Glyphs.
Glyphs.
All the glyphs. All the glyphs in the world.
There are several glyphs that can be quite useful. If you're going for, say, a haste build for, say, second man team, 10-man team. This is where my brain starts to make connections that just doesn't work. I was going to say secondary stat. You will want Glyph of Renew.
You did it.
That's what I was going to say.
I'm so proud of you.
Because it increases the healing of Renew. It reduces the duration, but in 10-man healing, because you can get free renews of Renew. I just don't know how to say that. This is very beneficial for you. And especially also if all those renews have extra ticks from the haste cap. That's what you want.
I don't know anything about glyphs. Oh my goodness! I know the circle of healing is kind of good.
Okay,
circle because it does heal one additional target.
Yeah.
But it does increase the mana cost by 35%.
It does.
But
Circle of Healing is such a nice spell. It's an instant AoE.
Yeah. But that's when you want your spirit right. Once your spirit's right and you're feeling good, you can sacrifice that additional 35%, and
And you manage your cooldowns, mana cooldowns, which we'll talk about a little bit later.
Right.
But yes, no, you're right. Glyph of Prayer Mending is quite nice. And we were talking about this before. This increases the first heal of your prayer mending by 60%, but causes it to have one fewer charge. So again, might be more beneficial for a 10-man team.
Yeah, because that extra healing is pretty nice.
Yeah, especially if you have
Because there's not as many people are going to click on it anyways.
Sorry?
I said not as many people are there to click on it anyways, so.
You don't click on prayer of mending.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the light well.
No. Talking about prayer of mending here. God, Sean, keep up.
It's late. It's 10 o'clock.
Oh my God.
I
Poor you. I feel so sorry for you. I just wanted to say that prayer of mending is very nice when it to use when it procs as well, when it's an insta heal.
Right.
Because it will, you will get a bigger heal directly from that. But yes, Glyph of Lightwell will increase the charges of your Lightwell.
By 2. Yay. That's the one I wanted.
Yeah.
Now I'm happy.
Glyph of Spirit of Redemption increases duration of your Spirit of Redemption by 10 seconds. We haven't mentioned Spirit of Redemption.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of important because
I've never been such a huge fan of Spirit of Redemption back in the day because, like, if it comes to the point where you're dead,
what does it matter?
Most of your other raid team is going to be dead as well.
Right.
Which is why I rarely went for that talent. Now that you have it baseline, it's a little bit different. But basically what's going to happen is you turn into a big spirit healer. You can't move, or you can turn around, but you can't move, or you can't do anything. But you can heal for free for 10 seconds, I think. And if you glyph it, you can heal for free for 20.
Right.
So, I mean, they are free heals with no mana costs.
That's good.
It's good, yeah.
For
I mean, you
20 seconds.
Yes, and then you're dead.
Yeah.
So
it's
unless
like flash
you
it
have
faster.
a
Just throwing everything you got.
yeah, I wouldn't glyph for this.
No. No, that's kind of silly.
Yeah.
Compared to everything, all your other choices.
No, I wouldn't glyph for it. But it's kind of cool. There's a minor glyph that will turn your spirit healer into a Valkyrie, which is kind of
that's kind of cool.
That's cool. That is a glyph I could use.
Same thing as earlier. Glyph of Binding Heal causes your Binding Heal to heal at their target, but again, the mana cost is increased by 35%. So another one of those. You need to make sure your spirit's right, your gear's right.
Yeah.
In order to use that.
I don't think I would use this either, given the choices you have.
Because Binding Heal,
I was thinking maybe like in a dungeon environment, but still you have your AoE heals. Like,
yeah, so what does it matter? Yeah.
Binding Heal, it's really nice if you're in a 2v2 team, for example, in the arena.
And that matters, that dual healing is important.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't glyph it anyway.
Exactly.
Glyph of Inner Sanctum. This is a nice one, I think, because it reduces the amount of spell damage for 6% whilst Inner Fire is active. And it will increase the movement speed bonus of Inner Well as well.
But basically, it's just use it as a damage reduction, 6%.
Yes. Yeah,
and
you will be using Inner Fire mostly, just because of the spell power increase you'll get from it, which is also percentage based now. So it will scale with your gear, which is really nice. Really, really nice.
Same thing with Fade, reduces your damage taken by 10% Glyph of Fade while Fade is active.
Progression rating, I could see that having a use. Otherwise, PvP, yes.
But I mean, realistically, not something that you'd want to use all the time.
No, it's very situational.
Yeah, that's something very high in raiders. I would assume you use when a new expansion comes out and they're in greens and they're going for world first, and the healer can't stay alive during the AOE, the massive AOE, and they've learned how to throw bombs at the floor at Lich King and bug him out.
Yeah. Glyph of Mass Dispel also feels a little bit more PvP. But if you have encounters where you need to use it a lot, then yes,
you absolutely need it. Yeah.
It will just this used to be you didn't have to glyph for this, but now you do. It dispels magic effects that normally isn't dispellable.
Right.
So Glyph of Mass Dispel, for example, will remove a paladin's bubble. So
that's good. And we'll
yeah,
bubble hearth for you, sir.
Yeah.
Now that excitement you just felt, well, it's gone. But then it doesn't matter because then you're just gonna. What are you gonna do? Heal him to death?
Stop being.
He's like, okay, fine. I'll just murk you then, no problem.
But yeah, no, it's nice in the arena. If what you do with a paladin in the arena is you try to get them to pop their bubble as soon as possible, so it's on a cooldown for when you want to burst down. That is how it works, and if you can dispel it as well, then screw him, basically. But yes, I would probably Glyph of Circle of Healing, Glyph of Renew, and Glyph of Inner Will. Probably.
See, that's why I feel like this, like we can't, we cannot give good advice here. That's what it is, because we don't know where you're at. You know, we don't know where your raid team's at. We don't know where your gear's at.
It's just like with talents, though.
It's like, well, you know,
it depends a lot of what kind of healing is required for a particular encounter.
But we can give you some practical advice and some tips, I suppose.
But I like that, though. I enjoy having to think, before every encounter that we're about to do. Okay, will I need speed boost? Will I need this? What will all that stuff? And you change it around, and you spend tomes like they're going out of fashion.
Well, good thing they're cheap.
Yeah. So yeah, minor glyphs. They are all all cosmetic. Yeah,
they're all
minor.
Very minor.
I really like the glyph that gives you wings all the time.
Yeah, that looks nice.
Looks really good. Glyph of Confession is like awesomely fun. It's just like you can troll your fellow raid
Because if there's
members.
anyone that's into cosmetics in this game, it is you. You love looking
flat.
real good.
Yeah.
Look at me, everyone. Quick,
Yeah.
everyone, come see how good I look.
Characters to be pretty in one way or another.
So what's
and glyph and everything like that. So that's just completely up to you. Have fun with it.
So last thing we want to talk about was a couple, I guess, good tips. Since a lot of this is kind of like, it's kind of situational. It's kind of like, maybe, I don't know. These are kind of things to live by. These are words of wisdom, so to speak.
Words of wisdom.
So one of the first ones, which may seem kind of obvious when I say it, but you probably didn't think about it until I say it, is casting things like your light well before the pull, and not like 5 seconds before the pull either. You know, like maybe like a minute. You know, because I mean it is on a 3-minute cooldown, but think about it. If it's already down and it's staying there, then that cooldown's gonna come up sooner. Yeah, so that's kind of nice. But a lot of people don't realize that they're eating Doritos, and they're probably watching The Walking Dead on TV, and then all of a sudden they hear in their headphones, they're like, oh god, we're pulling in 3, and it's like, oh no, okay, well, I gotta buff and get my food, and and you don't do that, so throw this stuff down early.
General advice: don't eat Doritos and watch The Walking Dead when you're raiding.
Not to go too far off subject, but what's your raiding food of choice? Just out of curiosity.
My raiding food of choice.
Yeah.
I used.
Everyone eats something while they raid. Okay, you can't just eat nothing.
No. I eat stuff.
Oh.
Hello. I used to eat a lot of rice cakes with sour cream and onion flavor, but if you get sticky fingers. I drink loads and loads of tea, which means I have to get up and pee all night.
Yeah, you're one of those. Gotcha. I took 5 again because Alex.
No. Afterwards, once I've gone to bed, that's when I need to pee a lot, because I've been drinking like gallons of tea.
Gallons and gallons.
Gallons and gallons.
So
or
basically, rice cakes and tea.
I'm
It's like
more
prison.
of a this sounds weird. I'm more of a drinker than a snacker, like Coke, Red Bull,
Yeah.
tea.
Yeah, I'm that way
sort
too. I prefer my caffeine. Yeah.
of.
I used to eat a lot. I'll have something small.
Mm.
I have like little things, little maybe candy or something. You know what I mean? Like nothing like too
Oh, I've
sticky.
seen
You know what I mean?
you
Like
have
you eat like
lollipops,
caramel and
don't
you're
you?
like it's like stuck in your mouth and you have to say something. You're like, oh. I was like,
Yeah.
what did he just say? I said I need to be in his mouth. Now I'm dead. That's it. I'm taking 5. I need to pee. Now I'm mad. What else are we gonna talk about? Stance dancing. We talked a little bit about that a little bit.
What you need to remember here is, we've already discussed this, but you need to remember the 30-second cooldown.
Yeah.
If you manage that well, then you will have a lot of success with your stance dancing. But I mean, otherwise, it takes a little bit of practice. It's all about healing. Is all about planning. Healing
Yeah.
is about knowing your encounter, and reacting accordingly. You don't have a set rotation. It's just
There's no
in the
fight.
same way as
Do your research.
you just
There's this guy I
you
used to
need
watch
learn
that used
how
to do these
react by
things.
reflex.
What was that guy's name?
Just-
Really curly hair, dark hair,
What?
kind of a dreamy face. What was his name? Worked for a certain website. Tank something. What's this guy's name?
I don't know.
I used to watch that guy's videos quite a bit. He knows. He used to know what he was talking about. That guy. He still
Yeah.
does. But that's what I mean. Do your research. Know your stuff.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Knowing when to dance is important. I think that's the gist.
Just
don't
don't
be stupid.
put your chakra on cooldown when you really, really would have needed to change it. It's probably a good idea. One thing I would like to remind everyone of is renew. Like, especially if you got your haste build and you're going for chakra serenity, use the renew. Don't forget about it, okay? This is remarkably often I see people that do that, and you need to renew is a nice spell. Keep it up.
Yeah.
That goes for you disco priests
Yeah,
as
stop
well,
it.
I would say. Because otherwise there's no point in having that sort of build at all.
Right.
You need to utilize it a lot. So
It's important to know those breakpoints. If you're going for those breakpoints and you're not even using the spells that, that you're getting, they're being benefited from that breakpoint, then, what's the point? What is the point?
no point. No.
Anything else? Anything else we wanna chit chat about?
I mean, there's loads we could talk
I
about,
know.
but at the same time, just sitting here rambling up different statistics or math and stuff, it's not
It's boring.
interesting.
There's websites for that.
There are websites
But
for
there's
that.
none
and-
that we're going to mention because they're not on the screen. So, too bad.
Shush.
If you're one of those websites and you contact us. But until then, too bad.
You're
Too effing bad, bro.
But I would say if you roll a priest, it's very easy to go disc due to the bubbles and stuff. But holy is much more fun to play once you've learned to play it, in my opinion, at least. This is why I don't play my priest so much anymore, because I changed to disc in mists Spirit Shell was freaking OP. How could I not use that? And I just grew very bored. I mean, there are aspects of Discipline Priest that I really like as well, but Holy is definitely my favorite. I mean, my first character was a Holy Priest. I quested as a Holy Priest. I healed for 4 years as a Holy Priest. It's a lot of fun, but it takes a little practice, I would say.
Takes some getting used to. It's like anything else.
It's not really face roll.
Yep.
But yeah, once you get down to that, that's when it starts to become fun. We haven't mentioned mana cooldowns. I just realized.
LOL.
LOL. Shadow Fiend and Hymn of Hope.
How did I not talk about those?
I don't know. That's a big miss
Derp.
on our part. But you will want to use Shadow Fiend first and Hymn of Hope afterwards.
Right.
Because Hymn of Hope will regenerate more mana the more you have on your bar. So if you're really low, pop your Shadow Fiend, have it go up a bit, and then pop your...
We didn't talk about Shadow Fiend.
Sorry?
Didn't we talk about Shadow Fiend?
We
The
talked
1%,
about
the 1% on each hit.
I don't remember, but I was just trying to explain that Hymn of Hope, if you pop Hymn of Hope afterwards, you're going to get more out of it. And obviously Hymn of Hope is something that can be good to coordinate with your other healers because they will also benefit from it. So. Yes. Okay. Fine. I'm done. Roll a Holy Priest. They're awesome.
There you go.
GhostCrawler plays the Holy Priest.
GhostCrawler, he does. He's important. Was important. Is important. Something.
Well.
Something. something. Oh my god.
Yeah.
All right. Shout outs. What do you think? Anyone you wanna talk about? Give them their 2 seconds of fame.
2 seconds of fame.
Yeah.
No. Just no. I'm not gonna plug anyone.
There is no one I want to talk about.
So many shows on Bliss
Just-
TV that talk about raid mechanics
Raiding
and the community and
Communities and
all
stuff.
that. So and there's coming we're gonna have a Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls show coming up as well.
Yeah.
So look out for that.
Are we supposed to talk about that? Can we talk about that?
It's up on the website.
I guess we can talk about that then. There you go. That's coming. Cool. That's it. That's all you got.
Any shout outs for you?
There's always a little something here and there. You know what I mean? As always, I want to thank just the big three or the big four, I should probably say. When we're talking about Blizz Pro, Steel Series, Open Raid, and Ask Mr. Robot. Those are our big 4 sponsors, so thank you guys very much as always. This is a show obviously dedicated to GhostCrawler, so if this gets back to him and he sees that ugly PNG file, that's awesome. I hope he thoroughly enjoys
that's
that.
my fault. I'm sorry.
I should make that bigger right now and just zoom in on his face. I don't want that. Alright guys. Well, that's episode 3 of The Edge. We'll tweet out some more stuff, what we're going to be covering next week. And
It's not going to be a healer, we promise.
you never know. You never know.
You never know.
Could be. Maybe if we feel like it.
Yeah. I always feel like healing. That's the problem.
Alright guys. We're out. We'll see you next time.